And then finally, the last judge today is in verse 31. He only gets one verse in the whole chapter and the whole book of Judges. And after him was Shamgar, the son of Anak, who killed 600 men of the Philistines with an ox goad, and he also delivered Israel. This judge is the resourceful judge. Shamgar is that third judge that is talked about in the book of Judges, and he wasn't exceptional, he wasn't special. In fact, it had nothing to do with him at all. It had everything to do with the ox goad. John MacArthur says that an ox goad was about a stick about 8 to 10 feet long and 6 inches in diameter. And it had a huge, large, sharp metal tip on one side to prod an animal, and on the other side was a blade for clearing out the plow. So kind of in and of itself was a weapon, but it was really just used to plow, to goad the ox and to plow fields. It wasn't meant to be used as a weapon. So apparently, this man was in the field doing his thing, and God said, look, I got a job for you to do, and I need you to do it right now. And so he took the only thing that he had, which was an ox goad, and went and put a whooping on 600 Philistines. Now look, this man obviously did not have time to think about which weapon he was going to use. He saw 600 Philistines, and God said, I need you to take care of that. And then he looked over and he said, well, God, I got a plow, a dumb ox, and this stick. He didn't say, well, God, I think you got the wrong God. He took what he had, and he charged in the middle of the Philistines. He killed 600 of them, and he delivered the people of Israel through one act. Oh, someone get that? One act, one time, at the moment that God wanted to use him, he delivered Israel. Amen. The Bible, the other two judges, I didn't read it to you, it gave timelines from the time that they became judges until they died. Not this judge. This judge just says he killed 600 Philistines and delivered Israel. It was a one act, one time, right when God needed him, and he had to use what was in his hand. All he did was be obedient and use what God gave him. J. Vernon McGee says an ox goad can be dedicated to God if it is in the right hands. Remember that God used the rod of Moses, used a stone from the slingshot of David, and all Dorcas had was a needle and thread. Also, there was a boy who had only 5 loaves and a few fishes. All these things were given to God. Whatever you have, friend, if you will put it in his hand, he will use it.
That's good.
Tell you a story I read this week. It was about this cattle rancher, and I hope I don't mess this up too bad, but there was this wife and her husband, and they decided they wanted to be cattle ranchers, so they gave up everything. It was their dream, and they went and bought a big ranch, and they bought to make this cattle ranch. And so they had a friend come in to look at their new cattle ranch, and as he was looking around, he asked them, what's the name of your ranch? And so the guy said, well, we couldn't agree what we should call ourselves, and so we settled on this: the double R, lazy L, triple horseshoe, bar 7, lucky diamond ranch. So they couldn't decide, so they just took a little of every cliche possible and put it in the name. And the guy goes, okay, well, where are your cows? And the man said, well, we had quite a few, but none of them survived the brandy. So many times we are so busy looking at what we can do for God and trying to be perfect and trying to be everything to everybody and trying to be the perfect that can do everything perfectly and looking for, okay, what God has gifted you to do and what God hasn't gifted you to do. We become so confused that we actually never accomplish anything.
Yeah. Yes, that's good.
We become so distracted on what we think we should be doing, or we become so distracted on what my gift is and what my gift is not, and what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is trying to do, that we try every cliche thing and we never accomplish anything because we're so busy trying to do everything. Somebody hear me. You ain't got to be perfect.
Amen.
Amen.
God says, take what's in your hand, take what's in your life. That's why Jesus said, when I was sick, or when I was naked, you clothed me. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was in prison, you came and visited me. When I didn't have a place to stay, you took me in. And they said, well, Jesus, we never did that for you. And he said, when you did it unto the least of these, you did it for me.
Amen.
What is it that God has given you?
That's right. Jesus.
If you have a home, let them in. If you have a water, share it. If you have food, give it. If we have clothing, provide it.
Amen.
Take what God has given you and use it. Because a little bit in God's hand becomes much.
Amen.
God used fish and bread twice to feed thousands.
Amen.
Little is much in God's hand.
Amen.
Stop trying to be perfect. God don't want perfection. He wants obedience.
Amen.
Amen.